It's here.
It's October 5th, 2020, which means it is day 5 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 9. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And Remake Week continues with the 1988 version of the Blob. But before I go any further and tell you what I thought when the final credit rolled, and what you need to know is that please click subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified, uh, hit the thumbs up, leave a like, leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you think about this video that I watched today. What you thought of the remake of the Blob. That's what I really want to know. And share my video. Help me get my YouTube channel out there, because I talk about a lot of different things on this channel. That's what my main goal is. But anyways, there's a bonus thing is I want you to go over to the 13th Wolfman's YouTube channel and do the exact same thing, because I've been kind of sticking to kind of more modern horror. But if that's not your thing, I know the Blob today is over 30 years old, but he tends to do Italian horror on Sundays. So if you like those kind of movies, he does those every Sundays, and he well up and above his knowledge on Italian horror. I'm not very well versed, so go over to his channel and show some support. And you never know what he's going to be picking for his Sunday Italian horror films. So, anyways, with all that out of the way, my initial thought when the final credit rolled upon the screen was I really, really loved this movie. My history with this movie was I probably shouldn't have been watching horror movies at a young age, but I was flipping through TV, and all I seen was this foot being dragged through the drain of a sink, and blood was going everywhere, and the Blob monster is kind of pulling this leg through this sinkhole and this in the kitchen, and I'm like, I immediately was like, was terrified and intrigued at the exact same time. So, but that was my history, and I never knew what that movie was, because since I was watching at a young age, I kind of turned it all off. But as I grew older, I took a while to figure out what that movie was, and after I finally watched it from start to finish, and I'm like, I'm in love with this movie. But what you need to know about this movie is pretty simple. It's just something from space falls on this town, unexpected town, and it starts to get bigger and bigger as the more things it consumes, and they try to figure out a way to stop it, and the military gets involved. I do believe it was part of a science experiment in space, and it just kind of got loose and it fell to Earth. So I do believe that's the reason for the monster in this film. Just what makes this movie stand out is that it's in the 80s. It has good, very good practical effects. Like there's one particular scene where this guy is melting inside the Blob, and this homeless man, he's basically been melted in half, and that was a really great effect, especially when these are like dummies and are there so far. But there's this one particular scene where this guy's in his car, and he's actually physically interacting with the Blob, and that was really cool as well. And it's just done, there's some really good camera trickery to make the Blob seem bigger, or the way it's moving. It's so great. And I recommend this movie 110%, because it's gory, it's fun, and the beginning of the movie, you start to kind of like the characters that they are introducing, because they are just people who are just trying to have a good time and go through life in this like really homely hometown, and it's just fun. And then the world gets rocked by a giant blob that eats people or consumes them. So that's really all I gotta say. I really don't have much to say that hasn't already been said. It's like I totally recommend this movie. So I do have a rating scale. 1 being run of the mill horror, 2 best watch with the group, 3 more than average horror but adds nothing new to the horror genre, 4 helps move the horror genre forward, and 5 being a horror classic. And the 1988 version of The Blob is, in my opinion, a horror classic, just due to the fact that it has good practical effects, it's well acted, it has good chemistry between all the characters. It's just even if you kind of take away the fact that it is a horror movie, it's a well-rounded movie overall. It's just because it's in the horror genre, it kind of has a stigma a little bit, but a lot of horror movies are good movies regardless what genre it is in. So, and I think The Blob is one of them. It's just a good horror movie. That's all I can really say. And it's a classic because it has all those things I just mentioned. So, thank you. Once again, hit the bell to stay notified. Like this video, comment, share, especially hit the subscribe button for so you can keep supporting me here. But anyways, I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and thank you.